What is Teams now in the tool demonstration? So Teams, there are several components, as I said earlier. There's a calendar, so you can organize your meetings, invite people. You can have several kind of meetings, normal meetings, webinars where you can register before attending a live event if you want to broadcast with a lot of people. And it's synced to your calendar, and this is how you access your calendar. You also have the chat environment where you can chat with a person, or you can chat with a group of people, and you can even chat during a meeting. That's the second component that is really straightforward. I'm not going to demonstrate what you can do in a chat, but it's really a chat, very simple chat, and the only thing you need to know is you need to click on this to expand and avoid to press enter and send the message. So when you click on the A button here, that you can then type your message and skip a line without sending the message. You can, from a chat, you can escalate to a video or to a call, and you can even share your screen directly from a chat with a person or with different people. There's a presence, I talked about it. Here it is, the presence. You can enhance your status, explaining, maybe you want to explain why you're not answering in Outlook, or you explain you're in a building today, you're in an office, whatever. You can change the status, but here there's your status, and the status message, you can change it, you can make it, um, you can change it for a period of time. You can say, I never change it, I will move it out after a while. You can change that pretty easily. But the what I wanted to show you here is the ability, if I can grab it, um, change your status. Here you can be available, busy, do not disturb, or other, even appear offline. Um, this is, a convention. Available to me means my door is open, so that means you can't come and ask me a question. Busy, that means I'm busy. The door is closed. Do not disturb is released. The door is locked. I don't want people to come in and bother me. And it's automatically the status, the presence is sync with Outlook. So if you're in a meeting, it will say busy. It will say if you're in team meeting, it will say in a team meeting. If you're in a call, it will say you're in a call, etc. So that's the presence. So chat presence, calendar, and then and also calls. You can call people if you have this feature. Either you can call the person from if he has Teams, so it's a team-to-team call. But if you can also, if you have the right components in Teams, you can make a call outside your organization, dialing a number, or it will do a phone call actually, and you can also consult your voicemail if you want to receive a message on your phone. Actually, you can have a phone number associated to your account, and then when people are going to call this phone number and you don't answer, so it will ring in Teams, and if you don't answer, there will be a voicemail here. You can consult the voicemail. So that's, the most simple thing to understand: the chat, the calendar, and the call. And then there's the Teams. So Teams is really for collaboration. The main purpose of Teams is for collaboration. So that's what it is. Um, you can have several teams depending on your project and depending on your department. There's different ways to leverage Teams. Here at Planet, we're using Teams for a lot of Teams for project. So you can organize your team pretty easily. Just by dragging and dropping a team. You can also select a team, and if you want to make it go up, you just drag and drop where you want. And if you want to go, sometime when you have a lot of team, what you can do is press Control Shift, and with the arrows you can move your team pretty fast like that. That's a tip. That's interesting to know, and define where you want to put it. You can pin some channels. So a team is composed of channels. So if I'm going in a team, for example, this team, I have a different channel. You can see that you can have emoticon before the name of a channel, but so basically you organize your team in different channels. There's general channels that you cannot avoid; it's going to be there all the time. So then you organize your topics by channels. In a project, might be by work stream. Here it's by topics. And you can decide to take a channel, and because it's very important to you, always on that, and you can pin this channel to your here. I can unpin it because it's already pinned, but to the top of your screen. So that's where you're working the most. You want to pin that. So it's very easy to organize your teams, and also you can have uh, your let's say living teams, and maybe you're part of other teams, so you want to hide them because you're not working anymore on those teams, but they're still there, and you can see when you go into the teams, you see if something happened somewhere because there's a bold element that means something has been posted, a post has been posted in the channel. So you still have access to the team, but you don't want to pollute your vision with you only use and you only highlight your current team. And if you want to hide a team, you just have to click on the team and hide it, and it will go. It won't delete the team, but it won't put it in up front. So that's how you see your teams. You can also join pretty easily your teams by going there, join or create a team, and you will see all the teams that are public, and you can join them. And especially if they're public, if they're not public, you need to be invited. So once again, it's pretty easy. You can search if there's too many teams and you're not sure where it is. You can search here. Also, what's interesting, if you want to have an overview of all your teams, you can see all your teams in a nutshell, and you can see how many people are in the teams, and even you can see the statistics of how the teams are really used or not. You have a little diagram, and you can even change this diagram and say in the last 90 days how those teams were active, and you can see what's pretty active or not. So pretty straightforward. There's a last icon I want to show you is activity, because you can every time you notify there will be something here to make you understand what's going on. So it's a centralized place to see what's important for you. It's all your notifications centralized. If you miss them when they come, you can catch them here. Pretty handy to follow what's going on. Also, you do the same thing with the chat. If somebody's chatting with you, you will see here a number showing. And you can add more components, and also you can move around the icon the way you want to organize them. I change it from the default. You can add components. Here I have, for example, we provide a learning platform, and I have an app that helped me to directly go to the learning platform right away. But you can add whatever apps Teams is providing, and even add more if you want. Develop your own apps. It's pretty easy. So that's really quickly the team, and the final thing is the search. So you can search in Teams pretty easily, and you just have to, if you want to just search in a specific team, so the team you selected, rather than searching everywhere, you just have to type Control F, and it will filter your search by the team where you are. So that's another tip if you want to search pretty quickly. So how you organize your team is really based on how you want to structure your activity. So, for example, here you see a project with different, work stream. We were doing collaboration, we were doing migration. We have a managed service offering. We worked with, we were doing an OCM engagement with the Evolve platform. So we organize and we now are doing a Yammer project. So we organize that in each channel is a stream of work, but there are other, for example, here is my team, my working team actually. So we organized with information about Microsoft. When a new member come to team, he has a dedicated channel where he can ask question, and also he can have access to uh, the different questions here, but he can have access right away to the intranet portal. So without having to switch to SharePoint, he directly has access to what's important. He can see the planet holiday directly here. They're coming from SharePoint too, but he feels he stays in Teams, and yes, he stays in Teams. Everything is integrated. If you has access to our IT intranet portal, so he has access to everything that is important. So we decided to organize it like that. Um, we had a different, there's showcase where we share our successes, where we share where projects that were successful. So basically, you organize your team however you want, and there's a different kind of team. There's a team for to support end users to how to use Teams so they can ask questions, they can um, share tips. So it's pretty useful to support end users. So Teams is really an environment not only to collaborate but also to communicate. Uh, and there's different ways. We have here at Planet a team for all the internal webcasts. Every other week we have a webcast talking about a new technology. Somebody's going to talk about the technology, and in this uh, in this team we record all the meeting, and we might do some quiz, and we have access to all the meeting, and we can see the replay of the meeting. For example, the last one was about robotic process automation, or the next one actually. But that's a centralized way, and we only use this channel to do some meetings and share some important information to ramp up. So it's a learning team, if you want, where we can learn. So there's several ways, but most of the time the way we use it is to manage our project. Even prior to the project, we probably have a team for the customer, and we have a, let's say, a scope of work. So we have a channel per scope of work, and we can discuss the project prior to the engagement, and then if the customer is signing with us, we can create a team with the customer if he is willing to join the team, so to better collaborate, avoid to have different emails to communicate, and have a centralized place where everything is stored. Um, I just wanted to maybe show you. I don't know if I can show you what I can show you, because most of our stuff is for customers. But here are some examples of how we share information. Um, a lot of articles, but also we share files. Sometimes we collaborate on files. It's more for project, and that's another benefits of working in a document. Um, for example, we can post a document and then open the document, and right away everybody has access to the document and can co-author, can make some comment directly in the document. Can open it in the browser, open it in the desktop to have more capability. They can, if they want to avoid to modify the document, they can say, okay, I'm just going to view this document. They can copy a link to the document and post make a post about this document with the link. And really, it's a central way to share documents and collaborate all together. And even you can comment a document, add a comment to the document, and notify the person. For example, if I open this document in PowerPoint, I can use the comment feature, and I can create a new comment, add mention somebody who's in the team. So for example, I'm not gonna do it, but I can add mention the person to what do you think about this, and it will be notified by email. Um, so it won't lose the context. It will have access directly to the document, open the document at the page where the comment is. So it's pretty powerful, and it's centralized place where you do everything. And you can communicate pretty easily in a chat because you just have to create a new conversation, and then if you want to add an attachment, then you can pick up your file. Either it's already in Teams, or you can upload it for your computer and we'll store it in Teams. So everything is made to make the navigation, the collaboration, the simple as it can be. There's no conflict. You can co-author documents. You can even comment documents, and and also what is important. I think that's the way I'm working, at least when I'm working on a project. What I like to do, I'm not gonna show you some details, but what I like to do is working on my Windows Explorer. So I can not only sync my OneDrive, all my documents are synced on my computer. And when I say they're synced, that means um, they might be on my computer or they might not be. They might be only in the cloud, but at least I can see them on my computer. So it don't take that much of space, because unless I open the document, then it's synced on my computer. But I do the same thing with my team. So every time I'm working with a customer, I'm gonna, I'm gonna sync the folder. So for example, here there's a lot of documents, a lot of folders, because it was a big project. And you can see that some folder are not synced on my computer, they're still in the cloud. But if I open this, I can see what has been done, and I can see all the documents. And it's easier for me to navigate. And when I want to duplicate a document, I just have to drag and drop in duplicate, just do what I do. Or if I want to start to work in my OneDrive and then drag and drop my file into the team, it's easier. So it's easy to also work in teams. If you're focusing on documents, um, it might be easier for some of the people to working with Windows Explorer on files. So that's another way also to navigate on documents. That's definitely how I work. And also you can, sync files from other tenants. If you're invited to another team, you can sync if the customer allows you to sync the team site. So it's another way to work on documents. It's to sync the documents locally, and it's pretty simple to sync because you just have to go in your file tabs and you just click on sync, and then it's synced to your Windows Explorer, and it's pretty easy. Also, when you want to measure a little bit what's going on in your team, if it's a very active team or not, you can measure that by going into the team. Let's pick up a team like this one, or whatever. You just have to click Manage Team, and you see who's who's part of the team, who are the owners, the guests, and you can see pretty quickly the analytics and see how things are going. You can sort on a long period or a short period, and you can just focus on a few channel. So I don't know, So you can see the errors. There were no communication lately. If I take another one, let's take this one. Um, I can, if I check this one, I have this view. I can see pretty easily how many posts there were, how many replies. So that shows me that I saved a lot of emails for a short period of time. Um, Actually, here I saved almost 133, if my calculations are good, of emails, because all our conversations are stored in the Teams, and I don't receive any email, and I might not receive a lot of notification because I don't follow all the posts. So I will receive a notification only when I'm at mention, and if I'm not, at mention, I will still see that there was something going on in one channel because it's bold. So using Teams really decreasing um, the the flow of information and the madness of email for sure. Um, Also, what you can do in a team, but you need to be think for that you need to be um, an admin. You can archive the team. So I'm not the admin here, but there's a possibility to archive your team when you're finished with your team. So that means you're putting your team as in read-only mode because you know that it's finished, and you can also at any time leave a team if you feel that there are too many teams and you don't want to be bothered with what's going on. For me, I don't leave a team. I hide it, but there are different ways you want to manage that. And also you can move. It's more technical, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go there, but you can move. Your folder if you want to. If you have some documentation, for example, here I have a team. Let's say that. I have some files, and I want to make them available to a wider audience. Here, it's not the case. It's a team that's going to live forever, and everything is accessible to everybody. But I could decide to say, okay, I'm going to take some documents and share them in a SharePoint site with a wider audience and in read-only mode. So to do that, you can move you can move your document in your SharePoint site by in fact that's where you need to go in advanced feature. You open your team in a SharePoint environment. So here, in fact, it's the same, but in SharePoint. And in SharePoint, as you know, that you can take a folder and you can move it to another SharePoint. So you just move the folder from one side to the other that way, and then you can go into SharePoint and change and maybe decide that the content is read only. So that's another thing to know, that behind the scene, behind Teams, there's SharePoint, and you see why there is SharePoint behind, because SharePoint is really it's richer. It might be less easy to understand than Teams, and but still you can from time to time it's useful for advanced user to go into Teams to, for example, to see who had access to a document. So you can do that through SharePoint, and you cannot do that for Teams. So there's some advanced feature in SharePoint if you open Teams in SharePoint that way. So I think that's a big overview. I just wanted to finish this overview with my YouTube channel. I have a playlist just for Teams demonstration. So here you can see there's 83 videos. So that means there's a lot to be known on using Teams. So don't be impatient. It takes time. I'm still learning, and uh, Microsoft is adding new features all the time. So every time I learn a new thing, I publish a video here. Or if I have a conversation with a customer who is asking me a question, I think, I forgot. I never had a video on that, so I will shoot the video and I will share the video here. So this is my YouTube channel, and I will publish this video in my YouTube channel, and that's where you can find, all my videos around Teams and all the subject, because I'm not just talking about Teams, but Teams is so transformative. That's where I shoot the most video. But here you're gonna find more details on, for example, how you open multi-instance of Teams when you're working for a customer, and so it's in another tenant, and how you can have both and see both notification without, having to switch from one to the other. I explain how do you move files from one channel to the other. Or some people are struggling to move files. Like there's some videos about automation. I use how to use Power Automate. There's some use cases also. I think there's a Power Apps. So there's really more videos how to use Teams on a mobile. There's so many things on Teams that, there's probably, I don't know, maybe I will say probably I never made the math, but probably 30 hours of videos there. So it's a learning journey. Teams is to be honest, you need to be curious and look at Teams and search and educate yourself, and that's one of the reason I'm sharing all my videos, so you can, you know, if there's a topic that interests you, you'll probably find, or if you have a question, you'll probably find it here. Hope it was helpful.